Today's focus, it's kind of in the focus of the week, is all on postural muscles. And I feel like when we are growing up, our moms are always telling us, like, stand up straight, pull your shoulders back. And then we end up with like a lot of compensation like this. And that can lead to other postural issues, but that's not the best way to fix posture. What you want to think about fixing is the muscles that hold that posture in place versus trying to put yourself there and hold it. That's just exhausting. And, you know, we stand up straight for, I don't know, maybe a minute or two, and then we kind of fall back into our slouchiness. So everything that I've programmed today, here is your workout, is all about training these postural muscles to get the glutes to support the lower body and to help strengthen the lower back, the core to help hold the lower back in place. You know, some postural issues that happen are, you know, either this big curve, this anterior tilt, or sometimes we tuck under and compensate with this posterior tilt, depending on where we have aches and pains in our bodies. So strengthening the glutes, getting the hip flexors, the quads to kind of calm down to hold this more neutral posture in the pelvis. Core is going to support all of that. The other big focus today is going to be on scapular activation. So if you think of, scaps are kind of hard to find on a lot of us. If you think of the muscle through your bra line and trying to think of your scaps as fans on your back. So as you pull those fans down, almost like you're anchoring your armpits to your hips, and then take those fans and then kind of draw them in this way towards one another. The thing that most people do when they try to turn their scaps on is kind of squeeze up here at the top. And you see how this just threw my rib cage out. It put me into a lower lordotic curve here that I don't want. So we don't want to squeeze up here. Like our moms all told us, stand up straight, put your shoulders back. You actually want to find those fans on your back, press them down. So armpits to hips. And then think of, you know, if you had a bra on that the clasp is too tight, right through the bottom there, and trying to get that activation on versus squeezing up here. Make sense? I see you all practicing it. It looks great. Okay, so what we're gonna do is start with, let me start my playlist over here. Oh, I dropped some notes in the chat. I don't know can you guys see those notes, or do they not come up unless you're already logged in? You can't see them? All right, sorry. I'm just gonna, that's my playlist. If anybody's music driven and wants to follow along on Spotify, I don't move very well without music. And then I just put some other notes on there. So you don't need props today, but if you've got light weights, go ahead and grab them. I still don't have weights after living in Barbados for a year and a half, but I've got water bottles, they'll withstand. These make 2-pound weights. And if you don't have anything at all, grab yourself a small pillow. And we're just going to use this for some like resistance on some squeezes and stuff. So I'll give you guys a second to gather some supplies. Sorry, I thought you could see that chat. And also, if you don't have any of these things, they're not necessary. You know, sometimes just moving our arms and holding them with the correct postural muscles is enough of an effort to get a little bit of a burn. Okay. So looks like we've got everybody coming back. Great. We're going to start by focusing on that core breathing belly pump. So I want you to come down to your backs. If you are not comfortable on your back, I'm thinking of Liz and Lindsay. You guys can do this from a seated position as well. And actually, I'm going to start up. The rest of you, laying on your back is a great way to get that diaphragm turned on. So what I want you to do is bring your hands to your belly in whatever position you're in. Side lying works too, Liz and Lindsay. And I want you to put one hand above your belly button and one hand below. And as you inhale, exhale, I want you to feel how your belly rises as you breathe in and how your belly falls as you breathe out. Now, if you're taking this breath and you feel a big rise and fall in your chest and shoulders, I want you to think of sending air all the way down to the bottom of your pelvis. So you're here, you're trying to get that belly to rise as you breathe in and fall as you breathe out. This is a sign that our diaphragm is turned on and working. This is your main breathing muscle, and this contributes a lot to our posture. Because if we're breathing up here in the upper chest, we breathe 20,000-ish times a day. If every breath is turning on these upper body muscles, you're gonna hold tension up here and it's gonna throw off your posture. So you want this low belly breath to be moving in and out as you inhale and out as you exhale. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Now, I want you to think about the muscles of the pelvic floor. We've got a network of muscles that line the entire bowl of the pelvis. So as you breathe out, I want you to stop the flow of urine and stop yourself from passing gas. So as you exhale, you can think of a blueberry in the front and the back, and you're just gonna reach down, pick up that blueberry and lift it up through the center of your body. Inhale, put those blueberries back down. Exhale, you're gonna close around those blueberries, front and back. Draw them up to the center of your body. You might even feel some lower abdominal activation happen there. Because as we lift the pelvic floor, we also get into those lower transverse abs. And one more time, inhale, release the blueberry, exhale, close and lift, pull that blueberry up into your body, and let go. Good. We are gonna take some glute bridges here. So feet are in parallel underneath us. We're gonna continue to use this breath of inhale, let everything fill. Exhale, lift your blueberries as you lift your hips up into the air. You're gonna take these at your own pace, only as fast as you can keep that breath coordinated. Now, for my third trimester pregnant people here, if it feels better to put a pillow underneath here so you're more of an incline, you're welcome to kind of prop yourself up. If you feel dizzy, nauseous, just roll yourself over to the side, or you can get your glutes on a different way and keep an eye on you. So we're inhaling at the bottom, exhaling, lifting those blueberries up as you lift those hips up into the air. Good. You really want to keep that breath moving. That's your number one priority. Are you breathing into that low belly? Because that's going to give you a really active pelvic floor and a really active lower transverse. That lower transverse it's those muscles. Think of the muscles below the belly button. A lot of my new moms will complain of that lower belly pooch. It's often pelvic floor and lower transverse related. And the more we can get this breath moving, that lower transverse area, the more we can tone up that lower belly. You're going to take 3 more of these bridges here. Good. And then you're going to roll over to your side. And I want you to just make a support underneath your head. So we've got a long line of energy from the top of the head to the spine and out the tailbone. And we are going to take this into a clamshell. With that belly breath, exhale, lift your blueberries. Feel how your belly pulls in towards your midline. Open, close that knee. Inhale, belly extends. Exhale, belly hugs in, open, close. So as you take these clamshells, you want to lift your leg as your core is engaged, and you don't want to rock that hip back behind you. I want you to stack those hips completely vertical. And you can speed these up if you've got a nice core breathing connection. A more advanced version of this is just to lift those bottom legs, and you can lift and open that clamshell from this position as well. Now, everybody, check in with your top shoulder. Is it up by your ear? Or can you kind of anchor that armpit down towards your head? We're going to take 2 more on this side. Good. And then I want you to engage your core. So hug those blueberries in and up, and go ahead and switch yourself over to the other side. You're going to create that long line of energy from the top of the head through the spine out the tailbone, and then turn on that breath. Exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Belly pulls in as you exhale. Blueberries come up and in. We're working on this glute med muscle here. And our glutes are going to help us a lot when we get more upright. And we're working on those postural muscles. We want to have strong glutes because most of us tend to turn our glutes off because of our pelvis position when we're in it and when we're standing. Good, you can lift those legs up if you need that more, that little bump up in level. Inhale, exhale. We are going to take about 5 more on this side, working at your own pace. Really trying to tune into this side glute muscle here. Working on stability in the pelvis by getting that pelvic floor nice and active, those lower transverse muscles on. Good, we're going to take 1 more and then release. Take a nice big inhale, try to relax your pelvic floor. Exhale, close and lift those blueberries, hug everything in, and go ahead and press yourself up. So this is where you can grab your props if you want. I'm going to kind of switch back and forth between the 2 options that I have, either your light weights / water bottles for me, or a light or a small pillow. And I'm going to take a kneeling position. This can be any position that's comfortable for you. If this is not accessible, you can be down, you could be on your butt, you can even sit yourself on a chair. But I'm going to take my light weight. And again, you can do this without anything at all. And I'm just going to work through this rotation here. So I want you to be aware of your scapula. Think of that fan on that arm that's moving. So you can even put a hand on the back of the shoulder blade there. And I want you to feel the movement, that range of motion that it has. Scat position is essential when we're thinking about standing up straight and having good posture. And we can feel, we're going to go through a few different ranges of motion, how the scaps aren't just stagnant on our body. We don't want to just lock them down into place. They have to have this movement. We're going to take this over to the other side. So go ahead and switch arms. And tune into the rotation that you feel. It's almost like that fan is going in and out. You really tune into feeling it. And then I did give you the reminder on the first side, but where is your belly breathing? Are you still breathing into that low belly? Because if you converted your breath up here, you're adding a lot of extra strain to that rotation. So you still want to inhale, release the belly, release the core. Exhale, take a little bit of engagement. Great. So then what I'm going to do is grab both of these. This can be done without any weights at all. And I'm just going to press overhead here. So if you don't have weights, just imagine that you're pressing those palms into a wall in front of you and you're going to slide them straight up and down. Think about locking armpits down towards your hips as you rise your arms overhead. So your arms go up, but your shoulders go down. And then the other thing I want you to think about doing is using that belly pump. So this is your inhale, exhale. I engage that core to press my arms up. That's teaching your body to go into that core activation as your shoulders and scaps are pulling down. Good, take 2 more here. And then we are gonna get ourselves all the way up to standing. So wrap those core muscles, hug them in. Come on up. You can grab your weights. And we're gonna take that same press in a standing position. So same movement here on the arms. Arms go up, shoulders go down, big long neck as you're extended here. Try not to get behind yourself. You don't want to poke your ribs out the front. I want you to keep your ribs on top of your hips. And if anything, it might even feel like you're kind of pressing yourself forward, like you're going to fall forward with your weight. And you give me a nice active belly pump. So as you press, you feel those core muscles. Those pelvic floor muscles go in and up. Ooh, my sand water bottles really kick in here. Good. We're gonna head into a push and a pull. So I'm gonna give you a profile shot here. Arms are just gonna go out and pull back. So the other motion that our scaps have is that they can kind of rotate forward and then also pull back behind. They can go in this motion around the ribs. You can also use a small pillow here. If you squeeze it in like crazy, you can use this for that same push-pull activation. I actually think I prefer the pillow over the weights because it gives you a little extra effort here through the biceps as well. So coordinate with that belly breath. Exhale, lift the pelvic floor, wrap the core on the extension. Inhale, Let the belly go. And think about those scap muscles that we talked about at the beginning of class. The fan is down, and that bra line right through where we have a clasp is really pulling in, especially on that extension. As you extend the arms, you don't want to round this part of the shoulders forward. The scaps are moving forward, but you don't want to get into the shoulders hunching forward. That's it. Take about 3 more here. 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to switch back to my weights or no weights at all. You're going to take a forward bend here. I want your glutes that we turn on at the beginning of class to support this bent over position. So if you're bent over and you feel this in your lower back, I want you to think about your sits bones, those 2 bony points at the bottom of your pelvis, pressing and trying to touch the wall behind you. You might have to also play with your angle. If this is causing pain, come a little more upright. You could also just be totally upright. We're just gonna fly those arms out to the sides. Coordinating your breath, the exhale on the lift, and then the inhale when I'm here at rest, I'm letting the belly release. So on my effort, I'm trying to lift my pelvic floor, wrap the lower core muscles as I extend the arms. Tiny bend in the elbows. And you don't want these to kind of come up too high. As soon as you come up too high, you're gonna get into your trap muscles, which is those muscles around the neck. We're trying to keep those turned off. Long line from head to tail. Good, give me 3 more. Press your weight down into your heels so you can get those glutes on a little bit more. 2, and 1. Great. You're welcome to do this next move in 1 of 3 positions. I'm going to show you the easiest one first. It's a kneeling position, 1 weight in the hand. And what I'm going to do is reach out behind me. I'm going to get that tricep muscle turned on. I'm going to hold this angle, and then I'm going to press up on the high diagonal. So I'm working from low diagonal to high diagonal, in and out of this range of motion here. I'm focusing on keeping my right shoulder down so it's not pressing up to my ear. Trying to keep my trap muscles up. I'm trying to work from that lower bottom scapular muscle. That's 1. Option 2 is to come into a kind of kneeling half lunge position here. Most of my weight's on my front leg because I feel my left glute, I'm standing on my left leg, it's forward, is firing like crazy here. If you want a little more than that, we're gonna bend down and come up to either a tap or a balance. So lowering to lifting with that same motion. So you've got option 1, 2, or 3. Pressing that arm overhead. As your arm goes down or up, your shoulder goes down. Find your breath. Give me 3 more on this side. 2. And last one. Good, I'm gonna start down on level 1 for the next side. So switch legs, switch arms. Find that hinge head to tail. You're gonna press back into your tricep and then directly overhead. So as I extend that arm, I'm feeling that muscle right above my elbow. And then when I take that arm overhead, I'm trying not to get that left shoulder into my ear. That's 1. You want to take it to 2. You're really pressing into your front leg to find your front glute. I'm starting to break a little bit of a sweat. And then option 3 is to reach down and back and then come up to either a tap or a balance. That arm is in motion. Keep reminding yourself to feel that engagement right here for the middle of your back. Looks good, you guys. We're gonna take 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Last one, no weights or a weight in each hand. And we're just gonna rotate open and closed. So we're keeping these arms at hip level. We've got an active belly pump on. So here's my inhale, there's my exhale. Inhale, exhale. That exhale is driving up through the pelvic floor. Inhale, exhale, open. Good. When you're inhaling, try not to let your shoulders round forward. You're trying to keep that scap engagement through the entire range of motion of close and open. Check in with your knees. Make sure that they're not locked out because that's going to affect this posture in your pelvis and lower back. So just a micro bend, not bent enough to be awkward, but just little tiny bend there. Give me 3 more. Inhale, exhale, 2. Inhale, exhale, and 3. Good, I'm gonna put these down. We're gonna get our heart rates up a little bit while we continue to think about this scap engagement and posture in the pelvis and the glutes. Arms are gonna reach and pull. Like you've got a band over your head, shoulders are down when they're up, ribs are closed. So don't be here, you wanna be here a little bit so you've got that core engagement. And then we're just gonna march those knees up underneath us. If you have any kind of pelvic pain or shifting onto one leg does not feel good right now, just add a little up and down through the legs. Think of a long neck. As we do cardio, you're gonna keep going. It's a natural response to get into this upper chest breath. Our bodies are made to go into fight or flight when we get the heart rate up. So what I want you to do is try to think about using that lower belly pump, that lower belly breath for as long as possible to keep those trap and upper body muscles turned off. Good, give me 3, 2, arms are getting tired, I see you, Lindsay. And 1. I want you to give me some booty kickers here, right to left. You're just kicking your heels to your butt. Arms are gonna push and pull. And as you pull those arms back, I don't want you to pump through the rib cage. I want you to keep the ribs closed. You can see we're working through all those same ranges of motion that we did with the focused work in the scaps with the weights in both kneeling and standing. 4, 3, 2, we're gonna step out, right arm, right leg, pull it back in, out, in. My weight is on my left. I'll give you this angle, out, in, out. I'm feeling this glute like crazy. I'm getting into that tricep as I extend. And then when you've got that coordination, go ahead and pick this up. 8 more, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, other side, take it out, in, out, in, out. Pelvic pain, just modify these up and down a little bit, or go ahead and take a rest. Good, now have your shoulders turned around forward. If they have, open up those chest muscles. 8 counts here, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We're gonna go back to those marches. Pull down from the top. Open up the chest. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We're heading into booty kickers. Open and close those arms. Keep the front of the ribs closed. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Little out in. Find that hinge. So my butt is out here. I've got a long line from head to tail. I'm anchoring down to those scaps. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Switch sides. Out in. So again, hinge is on. This glute is working. Scaps are down and engaged. Give me 8 more counts. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Shake it out. Ooh, that's the hardest part. We're gonna take a nice big stretch. Take those arms up overhead. Exhale. And then just give everything a little shake. Inhale up. I want you to grab your wrist and just feel a little pull here away from that arm that you're holding on to. Breathe into the side of those ribs. Trying to stretch and lengthen through those intercostal muscles. Those are those muscles between the rib cage. between the ribs. And swing those arms down. Nice big breath in. Grab the opposite wrist, lift up high first to pull up out of your hips. And then lengthen. Good, come down. I want you to take one arm across your chest. Drop that shoulder down away from your ear. And then if you want to increase this, just give your head a little tilt towards the extended hand. And then take that same arm, drop it behind your head, hold your elbow. Try to open up through the chest instead of rounding forward. And then other side, arm across, drop that shoulder down. Either stay here or you can drop your ear down towards your shoulder. And open up. Keep the chest muscles open here. Then I'm gonna bring you all the way back down to the ground and just go through some gentle cat-cow here. Think of your scaps. So we're gonna inhale up, exhale round through the spine. Trying to create some space in those scapular muscles that we just worked so hard to get turned on to support us as you round through the back there. Give me one more here. And then we're gonna take one for the glutes. Come onto your butt, cross your ankle over your knee, and you're gonna pull that knee back towards you. You're gonna keep this foot flexed. That's gonna protect your knee joint. Try to keep your chest open. If this doesn't feel like much of a stretch and you wanna come down to your back, you can take that stretch here as well. And then we're on our last stretch here. I want you to just tune back into that low belly breath. We did some cardio, we got the heart rate up. So we probably sent ourselves into that parasympathetic or sympathetic nervous system, which is the upper chest breathing. So here, now that we're relaxing, go ahead and switch legs. We're trying to get that belly to rise and fall again on our inhale, exhale. Flex to that foot, protect the knee joint in whichever position you're in. See if you can send that air all the way down to the bottom of the pelvic floor. Give yourself about 2 more breaths here. Oh, good job, you guys.